Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forged Alliance Forever. Today, I have a 5v5 custom match here on the most amazing Neuroxis map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 in the west, ending with Team 2 in the east. Starting off with Team 1's northern player, then working our way southward across their lineup, we have in Ruby Red, Themo29 as a Seraphim. He is an 1100. To his south, we have in Stitch Blue, Shedsworth as an Aeon. He is a 1900, the highest rated player on Team 1 and in the game overall. And I feel like Shedsworth, for some reason, is a really good name for a butler. Maybe it's because he has the word worth at the end of it. And I think of Pennyworth from the Batman series is possibly where my brain is going to. To the southeast, we have in Emerald Green, Desync, very no emotion face. He is a UEF as a 1300. To his west, we have in Barbie Pink, Balfron as a UEF as well. He is a 1400. And last but not least, for Team 1 in Orange Color Orange is Dorset as an Aeon as a 1000 rated player. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 2 Aeon, 2 UEF, 1 Seraphim. Team 1 lacks Cybran technology. Starting off with Team 2 Southern player, then working our way northward, we have in Regal Purple, Trottil as a Seraphim. He is a 1300. In Chevy Crimson to the north, we have MSG. He is a Cybran, the one and only Cybran of the game. He is an 1800, the highest rated player on his team of Team 2. And to his west, moving westward, we have in Light Oak Town, Mutulal as a UEF as a 1300. In Amethyst Purple to his east, we have another UEF for Team 2. He is Ninra. He is a 1400. And last but not least, for Team 2, we have in Snow White, Mercy Spam for life. He is a UEF as a 1000 rated player. So for Team 2 side of the map, we have 3 UEF, 1 Cybran and 1 Seraphim. Team 2 lacks Aeon technology. Team 1 lacks Cybran technology. And for 10 players on the map, let's take a look at the reclaim counts, currently sitting at 39,000 mass, which means it is 3.9k mass per player to scoop up. And realistically, it is dotted pretty much in the middle-ish sections of the map, but there is a decent grouping of about 4,000 mass up here to the north and the south, and another 2,000 mass where Trottil is actually leaving, moving in to try to grab the mass on Team 1 side of the map. And in terms of mass point layouts, there is a we're looking at Team 1 side of the map just to clarify. There is a Trimex position up here, another one here, as well as a Trimex on this upper plateau, and kind of a Trimex down there. I think it's a little bit too expanded out, but it's there at least. But with that out of the way, the really interesting thing about the map is that there's really kind of confined land engagement. You have natural choke points very much everywhere. There's one, on, of course, the northern and southern side of the map. You have a little bit of maybe some possible land engagements across the water here. And, of course, there's another cut here. But really, a lot of the land is really just kind of confined and really not able to, traverse very well, making it very difficult for primarily the, T1, T2 stage, because there is some hover tech units and a couple units that actually one that does go underneath the surface of the water. But besides that, it's going to be, again, kind of confined. The only real best engagements is going to be right down the middle here. But that doesn't really bode very well for one team or the other getting to the other side of the map. It's just going to be used for those big land battles. We do see that Team 2's commanders, at least 3 of them, are already occupying the middle of the map down in the south. Team 1 doing essentially the exact same thing in the north. So even though it is split between the western team and the eastern team, it's kind of almost looking like it's going to be the southern team of Team 2 and the northern team of Team 1, with, of course, some players on that other side of the dividing line. We do see that there is some movement here from Team 2's 2 commanders, that being Trottil and MSG, to move again westward to try to claim this position of the map. Of course, it does provide a nice little choke point and kill box for Team 1's Dorset, and we're looking like it's going to see Battlefront's going to move in and intercept as well. being able to, again, confine Team 2's activities to essentially this section of the map. And again, the reverse for Team 2 up here against Team 1 in the north. We do see that Ninra is holding position right here. And I think it's going to be just a little bit of just kind of building up. Again, with these natural choke points, it makes it very difficult to have early harassment, at least on the land side of things. Air, I mean, you can have mountains in 100% of the map and you can still use air. So, I mean, that's not really a big deal for trying to confine air. But we do see a gun upgrade has been started for Team 1's Themo. We do see desync being upgraded here for Team 1. We do see that Team 2's Mutala going for T2 as well. So 2 UEF commanders in the middle. No faction advantage one way or the other. We do see some bombers starting to build up here for Team 1's Themo. Just looking like they're going to raid Mutala's position. Going to go after this lonely little mechs over here. Going to get a destruction on that. Interceptors are, well, intercepting those bombers, and interceptors are intercepting those interceptors from Team 1 onto Team 2. There was a lot of interceptors there, one after the other in that sentence. Tactical missile has been started for Mutalal. Going to be able to try to raid his opponent. Gun has been started here for Trotil. T2 has been started for Battlefront. Again, trying to lock down this position and make it very even more annoying to deal with any sort of incursions. The only downside is if Team 2 breaks on through this southern edge, they can go all the way to the western edge of the map and then go north. And that's where they're going to force now Dorset to hold position. He has gone for the sensor package upgrade, which means he has a chunk of the map under his purview the entire time. He can see everything. And, of course, he has the Omni range as well, so he can definitely see everything in that visual contact range. And we do see he does see those units building up here. So he is going to be preparing for that eventuality. We do see radar very far forward here for Team 2's MSG. Going to get a lot of intel operations from that. We do see that, again, this is the section gets up to T2. We'll probably see most of the way into Balfron's base if I can judge the distance between the T1 and the T2 radar system. We do see in the north, Themo preparing an assault. Going to send his comm forward. Has actually dropped some units up here and established himself on that upper plateau, giving him the height advantage, or in this case, the high ground advantage against his opponent of Ninra, which we have seen in some media that it does work out having the height advantage, the high ground advantage, and sometimes it doesn't. Just depends on the situation. But of course, there's one of them that I'm referencing in particular, and for those of you that do know, it is of course the most famous scene I think I can think of in Revenge of the Sith, which is Obi-Wan cutting Anakin down to size, quite literally. We do see a couple of just interceptors roaming the center of the map here for Team 2. And T3 air is established for Team 1. Is it established for Team 2? No, but we do see 2 players on Team 2 going for air. We only see one of them for Team 1, so Team 2 will have an advantage later on in the game in that air department. Looks like only one of them is going for the upgrade, but the second one has the upgrade to T2 at a minimum. So Corsairs are, of course, capable to be constructed there. And again, things have kind of quieted down. Team 1's Desync pushing up against Mutulal. He has gun, T2, and missile. Desync only has T2. So in a direct confrontation, Team 2's Mutulal will win that fight. We now see that Mutulal is being now kind of surrounded here. Forces move in from the south to try to cut off his retreat. And now PD being built in the middle and the north. Missile launcher online. Has 2 of them loaded. Team 1 might get an early kill here at 11.5 minutes. Looks like it's mainly just designed to keep Mutulal back, force him to retreat. Maybe Desync's going to go for the kill. He doesn't have the range on board. The missile actually outbound from Mutulal strikes Desync's commander, drops him down into the yellow, but it does look like it is going to be a kill here for Team 1. Desync's just going to go for it at this point and get that kill. Mutulal trying to go for, of course, a murder-suicide, but of course, Desync did not lose that many hit points besides just the one missile. And that is now a victory here for Team 1 in the middle of the map here, dropping this game to a 5v4 in favor of Team 1. Bombers inbound going after a horde of engineers and a T2 mechs, and also going to continue on forward going after the TMD. Looks like they missed their first target. Maybe they're going for something else, but unfortunately the TMD is not locked down. And at the same time, we did see a missile launch inbound from Team 2 trying to strike at that mechs. Unfortunately, it just does not work their way. Lots of text in the chat here between, looks like Chedsworth and Mutulal about something. Looks like probably talking about the fact that, of course, Mutulal is dead, so he's giving some, like, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is what's going on, there's this, that, and the other thing, just to help his teammate out from beyond the grave. Can you fix your connection? It's me. Closed all my stuff, says Chadwick. So it looks like there was some sort of lagging issue here for this game, but it does look like possibly it was fixed. So possibly no desyncs. Love to see that. Of course, desyncs are the enemy of the casts in my realm, because if there's a desync 20 minutes in and you don't really know how the game really worked out, because of course different players get different sides of things, especially that early at like 50 minutes with the game's almost over, one team is extremely in the lead, about to win. Desync isn't that important, but 20 or so minutes, even 40 minutes could make a difference between, if 40 minutes to an hour where you have 20 more minutes left, that could make a difference between victory and defeat for one team or the other. And of course, I like to know who actually won, and not, well, from this angle this person won, from this angle this person won, so it's kind of a toss-up between the two, of course, in that regard. Missile outbound here from Desync, not going for the missile on his back, but going for the stationary one, outputting those missiles decently quickly. Unfortunately, there are some zappers that have been built, so Team 2 will counter those tactical missiles very, very easily and quickly, so no mexes are lost in that exchange. In the north, Team 1's Seraphim player of Themo pushing in, and actually has now claimed one of the two choke points. We do see that this is going to be, again, the other choke point here that Team 1 will probably invade from. But again, the benefit, though, is that Team 2, all of this attack power essentially centered on this position. So even if the units, they have to be units that can either go over or under the water, have to come all the way over in here. So realistically, the true choke point would be right here. But still, Team 2's Mercy spam for life could easily build up a ton of defenses over here. We do see in the south, looks like Dorset's still holding position, getting a nice fire base online. Lots of Team 1 PD, decent amount of TMD and AA and PD to boot. It's going to be a long-winded war in the south between Trottil and himself. We do see a couple of units being dropped off here from the upper plateau here from Balfron to assist with defenses. Chedsworth control Ks, and maybe, oh, that was the wrong button. I need to press enter first. Looks like possibly this is unplayable. Can you leave now? Leave in 3 minutes. Just want to do a thing. So it looks like Chedsworth was unable to fix this connection and decides to leave the game. Very unfortunate. So Team 1 will lose a player. They did not. He was not killed. I do not count those as kills. I just count those as they are departures, unfortunate incidents, the external factors. And it is now a 4v4 tied-up game here at 16 minutes. Starting stealth says MSG, and he has gone for that stealth upgrade. Isn't going for any sort of gun upgrade as of yet. Maybe he'll go for cloaking and then laser. Be very interesting if he does go for that. We do see that again in the north. Themo still holding position, but T3 units online for Mercy spam, excuse me. Being able to at least kind of poke and prod at that firebase that is trying to be formed here. Team D being built to deter those very spammy missile platforms of the Spearhead. Nano has been started on MSG's commander. Attack inbound from some T1 artillery. These Lobos, unfortunately, the T2 PD of the Cybrins are very effective at dealing with T1 units. And that's really about it, in my opinion, but they are good for something. Gun has been started, so instead of going gun then nano, he went for nano then gun. Probably thinking about repping up more of his hit points first and then going for the gun. Maybe he'll go for cloaking. We'll see. Team 1 should have Omni online here shortly. I don't see an Omni station yet. But usually about 20 some minutes we see the Omnis start to come online. There is a T2 right here. And that's really about it. So we will see if Team 1 notices him or not. We do see that Balfron is now retreated back to his main base. Not willing to have his comm on the front line just in case of a snipe attempt. T3 air also online for MSG. So 2 air players here for Team 2. And again, in the north still, it's just a constant missile war. In the north, we see a couple of interceptors just kind of getting some vision on what's going on. Ninra has actually fallen back to this position as well, not willing to get cornered between Team 1's defenses and the units and comm of Themo. So that's definitely the smarter move to retreat, establish a nice front position, kind of like right here, just to secure this eastern section of the map. Because in the south, again, it's not really going one way or the other. I'm assuming one or both players are waiting for an experimental to be built at some point, just to kind of crack those defenses, either go eastward or westward for Team 1 or Team 2. No experimentals have been started. I mean, we could see a monkey pretty early from Team 2's MSG, even considering the fact, of course, he has dual base, so that does kind of coincide with the fact that he might go for early monkey. We do see a shield generator being built to protect a TMD and a Mex, just to, of course, ensure his eco. But we do see the Omni is online for Balfron, so we're going to be able to pretty much see the entire map with this thing, except for just a section of the northeast, almost cutting right where Mercy Spam for Life's comm is standing. Provide a lot of intel. We do see another Omni now for Team 2 as well. Going to be able to see, I think, pretty much the entire map given its position. Yes, everything except this corner of the map. So Team 2 gets a little bit better of a placement for that Omni, but it's pretty much the same between both teams. It's just slightly favoring Team 2 in the position, and that's not a huge issue. We do see in the north, we have some Percys and some Titans trying to force this fire base back. There is artillery now being built, or at least being sent here by Themo, going after, of course, the missile launchers. There are some parashields protecting them, but their shields are about to fall. And unfortunately, those Percys and those Titans are forced back. And those units defending this position are going to be quite happy with themselves for that. Bombers are inbound. There is some AA nearby. A Cougar going to kill most of those bombers off, but unfortunately, the parashield is down. One of them is, so one more does remain, but this base here for Team 1 will hold for a time being. When artillery starts to... actually, artillery did kill off one of those spearheads. And there it goes. We do see that in the middle. Colossus is done for desync and sending that forward, going after what looks like the comm. And can Team 1 still see him? Yes, they can. He does get out of visual contact range. He doesn't have cloaking online, which means if you can see him, you can shoot him. And that Colossus will continue to push forward. He might even go for the main base up here, or just go straight for the air base over here to the east, which it looks like that is the goal of that Colossus. So eventually the Colossus will catch up to the comm. Then it's not going to go well here for MSG's survivability at all. He should just kind of divert northward, but he is going to just sit underneath the surface to protect his commander, because that Colossus doesn't have any torpedo-capable weapon systems on board, so he can't be targeted. Now he's really wishing he has that. Oh, hold on. We had a pause and a bunch of text, and it looks like... not sure why he dot this game. You must have crashed or something. Torch from MSG, I was thinking about it. But, it looks like Desync had an unfortunate incident, and now, in terms of probably a connection issue or something, and now that's another departure from Team 1, dropping this game to a 3v5. Very unfortunate, but the Colossus continues to push forward. So that is the benefit of having a full share game, is that all the units, everything transfers over. And that attack is still inbound. Everything transferred over to Themo. We do see that. I think Balfron retains control of this position. It gives Themo dual base, and now Balfron has dual base. Going to be able to scale his air grid quite fast. We do see a couple of transports with a couple of these Otham siege tanks being dropped off to intercept the Colossus. And now we see some Corsairs trying to assist. Tons of T2 PD have been built. Unfortunately, that Colossus is going to rip those apart very, very quickly. They are tickle cannons after all, so they only do very minimal damage per shot. They fire very quickly, but that's all that they do. We do see that Colossus now at 1-star veterancy from all of those PD kills, and now the PGens and the air grid, or at least the air facility, is going up in flames. There it goes. T3 air facility is gone. The Othams walk in front of the Colossus and get grabbed. There is a chicken here now for Team 2's Trottil, so we'll be able to defend. That Colossus might not get underneath the surface of the water in time. And even if he does, I'm assuming torpedo bombers are inbound here shortly. And yes, he does. Less than 14,000 hit points. But there are some Othams now going to be chasing him. and that's not really going to go well for that Colossus over there. Of course, the main focus is trying to get it out of Team 2's territory and at least do some damage somewhere else. The chicken still able to fire on that Colossus. Man, my noise is like backing up on me or something. It's causing some issues. It's not that I'm still sick or anything. It's just the fact that, I don't know, just that time of year where my nose is just like clogged up for some dumb reason. In the north, 2 monkeys outbound from MSG going after everything. For now, Themo, it was originally under control of Desync. Now it's for Themo. We do see that Colossus still going, 5,000 hit points, trying to ground fire that chicken from Trottel, just trying to do what he can. The Omni might go offline. There he goes. Team 2 loses the Omni station. Tons of Team 1 PD have been built. They will eventually kill off the Colossus. Looks like he went after a T3 Max. Will kill it off at the last second. But of course the mass is now on Team 2's side of the map for sure. And it pretty much would have been in any scenario, so there's really no way that the Colossus would have been able to get out of there. But still, taking off the Omni, taking out a T3 Max, taking out, of course, a air facility and PGen's definitely a huge win. Of course, MSG's power is just dead right now, so looks like he is fixing it now, but he still had to spend time to do that. We do see in the south the attack still raging on between these 2 armies. Of course, there is that chicken that probably will be called forth yet. It's actually going to go this way, so there's really no defenses on this line. That chicken will pierce through very quickly. We do see a Colossus is being started here by Dorset. It's not going to be finished in time, at least I highly doubt it'll be finished in that time. We do see, of course, the monkeys over here going to move in and go after this base for Balfron. There are a couple of Percys here, but there's not that much attack power. There should be, of course, a lot more, but, you know, times are tough sometimes. There is a PD over here. It will do something, but it looks like this monkey's going to come in and take that position out. SMD is offline. There are some Ravagers being built back here to just protect some of that air grid. Satellite has been started, and now a backup SMD is immediately going to be built just in case Team 2 has a nuke, which I don't see one. Doesn't mean one isn't being built. There is a satellite being built actually by Team 2's air player of Ninra. Of course, he is UEF. That is definitely the next course of action after getting some sort of Air Force. T3 land facility is going to go down. That is going to hurt Team 1's ability to fight back in the land department. We do have some gunships going after the weaker of the 2 monkeys. That one is gone. The second monkey might get out of there, but still damage has been done. 5max is taken offline. Airfight will occur over Team 1's side of the map. And of course, all of these ASFs. Oh, great engagement here from Ninra. Takes out essentially half of those ASFs in one volley or one run or one pass through. One pass, I should say. That's the word I'm looking for. And that is going to be an air dominance win here for Team 2. The game overall, though, Team 1 sitting at 1.3k mass income. Team 2 barely at 1,000. They kind of teeter between 1,000 and a little bit below that. Team 1 has lost 2 players. They haven't actually been killed. They've just departed, that being Desync and Shedsworth. The only actual kill in the game has been Mutulau in the middle at the, not necessarily beginning, but about 10 or so minutes in the match. So it is a 3v4 in favor of the Eastern team of Team 2, with Team 1's Themo leading at 800 or so mass per second and Team 2's MSG at 400. So Themo has a lot of eco at his disposal. Of course, as always, let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. And of course, if you haven't done so already, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, of course, share this video with anyone, everyone, and especially your pets. And again, I do apologize for any sort of nasal congestion nonsense you can hear on the mic. And sometimes, you know, just my nose just doesn't want to cooperate with me, so I do apologize. And let's go ahead and see what's going on in the water over here. There is a monkey. Chicken is going to chase it. Second monkey moving in to assist its brother and go after all of these Autumns in the middle. The secondary cannons on the monkey are decently nice for going after weaker, farther away units, but not really designed for going after, of course, higher HP units. The monkey is now in the base here for Themo. He has a nice air grid going, and is going after the Mex's T2 PD being built as fast as possible. We could see a scenario in which actually the monkey goes back into the water and goes south to go after Balfron's position, but I don't think that is going to happen. Looks like it's just the mass income going after Themo as the target for that monkey. Monkey is sitting at 76,000 mass killed, so it was that monkey that had its brother die over here. Unfortunately, Team 1 has built a decent defense, at least Battlefront has, with a bunch of Ravagers. Monkey is going to go south into the water. Oh, will that shot make it? No, it won't. And it looks like T2PD being spammed up as quickly as possible to assist in defense. And that Monkey's going to get even more value out of it, moving in for this air grid that is very combustible, given the fact, of course, it is pigeons are very volatile. And the PD do open up and fire. The pigeon is going down. There goes that one, and there goes that one here shortly. It will be destroyed, but half of the air grid is down. They're going to build a secondary one down there. Satellite is done, and Monkey just going to get ravaged quite literally by those Ravagers. That's literally what they do. That's in their name. We see them firing one after the other because the way that the Monkey came into range. Monkey is going to get pretty close to those Ravagers and do some damage, but it doesn't look like it's going to survive. It might open a door for another Monkey, it looks like, to move in, but taking only 2 of them out isn't really worth it to just dump some mass on Team 1's doorstep. They actually have 2 wrecks to scoop up at the current moment. In the south, large group of T3 units, couple of flak cannons, some sniper bots, and now a chicken on the southern edge. Team 2 has finally broken through that fire-based position. Unfortunately, now for Team 2, they have another one that they have to chew through, which has a Colossus, decent amount of Harbingers, and now PD and shields to boot. There is a chicken moving in, and a second Colossus is under construction. Looks like the chicken going to try to sandwich this line with these forces over here. If the forces engage at the same time this chicken moves in, that is a dead Colossus, dead front line for Dorset. You do see lots of T3 units being ferried to the middle of the map to cut down on travel time. And what do we see in the base here? There is a satellite online for Team 2's airplay. We do see another attack. Now it's a counterattack inbound from Team 1's Themo. Of course, he had that fire base there for a while. Percy's are ripping it to shreds now. But the main goal has been accomplished. The chicken is now in the main base of Team 2's Mercy Spam for life. There is that satellite acting like an actual defense satellite, not an attack satellite. The chicken is the main target of the everything in this base. T3 land headquarters is going to be targeted here shortly. There it goes. It does stop for a brief moment, at least the chicken does, to be able to fire on it and claim that kill, taking out the ability for Team 2's Mercy Spam player to, of course, build T3 units. Satellite over the top of base here for Team 2's Ninra. For Team 1's Battlefront isn't going after the satellite, going after the engineers, I guess, building said shields. And that shield is built in time. We do see Monkey Lord back in this base here for Team 1's Battlefront, just being bombarded over here. And there goes the Monkey. It looks like they just charged straight on through. Actually, they could have actually gone this way, but it looks like they just went straight forward. I feel like that was too much time to go west and then east. There were some Optims sitting over there. Another Monkey is inbound. Going to go for this position, avoid the PD in the base for Battlefront. And look at this huge purple wave inbound on the western side. Chicken actually goes behind the Colossus. And there goes the chicken. Looks like it was killed off by a bunch of PD. The Colossus that was being built will either be destroyed or completely stalled for the time being. And there goes the chicken, focusing fire on that Colossus. These Harbingers moving in to try to assist deal with all of the other spam units to be able to assist with dealing with the chicken in turn. But there's a lot of Optims here. And that chicken is going to win that fight with this Colossus. Even though the Colossus has 1 star of veterancy, the chicken just has so many more remaining hit points. There's artillery raining in and sniper bots as well. That Colossus is going to go down. There he goes. The chicken survives for a little bit. Will the chicken survive much longer? No, it won't. The Harbingers were just enough to kill off the chicken. Team 2, of course, will retain control of the territory, but their main unit, the chicken, the Yothotha, has been taken offline. Chicken being built pretty far forward here for Team 2's Trottil. Again, cutting down on that travel time, using the transports to get units even closer and faster to the front line. We do see this Monkey over here trying to avoid the PD base that is now in the middle of that air grid for Team 1's Battlefront. An explosion somewhere on the map. It's in the north. Team 2's Mercy Spam for Life killed off by Themo. He tried to defend with his life, and unfortunately he was unable to do so. It's now a 3v3. And we do see Ninra saying, "Come back, you'll die." And I feel like Mercy Spam for Life was kind of just done with the match at this point. His entire base was gone. He didn't really have much to his name. A couple of mexes will be taken offline, but a lot of PD built in the base for Ninra, essentially mimicking what Balfron is doing and building his own Fat Boy currently. Artillery going after the mexes on the upper plateau and the Omni sensor as well. Going to blind Team 1 in that regard. Dorset moving in with his commander. He doesn't really have much left. There he goes. And actually going to get ignored by that monkey. Looks like Team 2 doesn't want to give Dorset's base over to Balfron or Themo. Actually, never mind. Scratch that. They decide against it and go after the comm anyways. And that is now a kill here for Team 2, dropping this game to a 3v2 in favor of Team 2 once again. Chicken online for Balfron, again, gonna position himself down south. Team 1 is being pummeled and ran over at this point in the southern side of the map. Look at all these Otham sniper bots. We obviously see these artillery moving in. The monkey's still alive, getting some veterans and getting his hit points back very quickly and getting more as well. This is not looking good here for Team 1. Team 1 still sitting at a decent, well, they had 2,000 mats for a second. Looks like that was probably just reclaim related. Nice group of Othams down the middle here from Themo going after this chicken producing facility. And they are going to destroy it, unfortunately, for Trato, but they'll be very happy, of course, with what they've accomplished, essentially taking the entire southern edge of the map. We do see a satellite over the base here for Themo, most likely going to snipe at the mexes. In the north, the T4 game ender of the Seraphim faction, the YOLO, is done. Team 2 most likely will assume that's something. Maybe they think it's chickens or something else, but that is a almost 75% completed YOLO. That will turn the tide of the battle in favor of Team 1. Team 1 definitely needs shielding on that quickly, immediately, as fast as possible. He has some Aeon SACUs, and I thought I saw some UEF ones, but looks like it's just Aeon. He did build a shield very quickly and loses his power immediately. Laser has been started by MSG. Looks like he was trying to build teleporter, I think is what it said for a second. No, cloaking, and then he canceled it and went for laser. And then in the south, 1 chicken, 1 monkey. Team 1 has 1 chicken. And looks like Balfron building more and more Ravagers to defend. And I hear Othams firing. Yes, they're up on the upper plateau here for Trato, going after the rest of Balfron's eco and his Omni sensor. Just hit it for, there it goes. I was going to say, just target it, please. Don't let that thing stay alive. That is a huge asset for Team 1 to lose. Monkey is going to go forth and charge, but looks like he's going to go west, drawing a lot of the fire to the monkey first, letting the chicken get in closer. Shield your satellite, says Balfron. Or shield from satellite. Yeah, it's down here. Looks like Team 2 still has not... Oh, no, they're moving north. Okay, they're like, what is that? And it is the T4 game ender of the YOLO. So Team 1 still not having to worry about that. Ninra notices it and marks it on the map. We do see the Ravagers, of course, focusing on the monkey first, allowing the chicken get a little bit closer. Now the chicken has been blitzed down. More Ravagers are now in range. These T3 units are being blitzed down. Shields are being built in response to try to defend as much as possible. Mex is taken offline in its encounter, of course, just because there's a lot of firepower going that direction. The chicken is now dealt with. The chicken for Team 1 is going to stand in front of the Iron Storm to try to take most of its fire. Battlefront is going to retreat just ever so slightly, and this attack is repelled quite easily by Team 1. YOLO is now done. Themo, 900 mass per second, loading that thing very, very quickly. Team 2 didn't really know about it until a couple of minutes ago. SMD is online. None of that is loaded in the south. There's no SMD in the south. Even further, there is no SMD. A couple of nukes will take out the entirety of Team 2's eco and win the game for Team 1. Team 2 needs to stop that at all costs. There's 1 Fat Boy, but I don't think that Team 2 has enough in the tank to really deal with that YOLO. They have 1 satellite, but the satellite should have attacked this sooner. Of course, we know where it was. They didn't know where it was.
Strategic launch.
There's the YOLO going for Ninra's position. He's built more SMD. He knows it's too late. And that base is going down. 37 minutes on the clock here, and there it goes. Team 2's hope is MSG going for teleporter and then going to teleport and killing off the YOLO. But even if he does, by the time the teleporter is finished, by the time the teleporter is charged and activated, it might be too late, because that base for Ninra is going to be gone. His base is going to be gone, and even if he gets out of there, he still has a defense satellite to deal with, so he's losing mass per second because of that. There goes the YOLO gonna land. Of course, I wait for the kaboom for the second set of damage to occur. This is the initial damage. Kaboom! There goes the second set. And that base is gone. T2 land facility. Oh, nope. I was going to say still alive. Second nuke is launched going after Trottil's base. Because, of course, the satellite is focused on MSG's base. And that is going to be a win. The only thing that Team 2 has at their disposal is this large land army to the south. Large land spam going on for the most part. There is a lot of reclaim down here. We could possibly see some sort of, not necessarily base trade, but base takeover. Dorset's base is essentially being ripped to shreds for parts to fund all of this spam. Ravager's not really great for spam. They're great for slower units, so T3 units plus T4 units, and some T3 units at that. Bricks, Percys, Authams. Harminger's a little bit faster, but they can still go after them. But they aren't really designed for very quick T1, T2 units. Just a lot of, they shoot all of their, the ammo in their magazine, and they have to reload. It just takes a while. Kaboom! There goes that base here for Trottil. One more base remains. There is that one fat boy. It's pushing all by his lonesome. There goes the base. For... where's it going? Oh, it's going down. Oh, it's going for the spam. Doesn't go for the base for Team 2's MSG. Goes for this position. Very interesting. We see Themo thinks this is more of a threat than anything else. There is no chicken for Balfron. He has a lot of Ravagers, though. Chicken's going to sit right outside of the effective range of said Ravagers. Some of them are in range, but only a few of them. There goes the YOLO, going to take out a ton of spam inbound. And there it goes, actually some wreckage as well. Kaboom! There goes that. Nice just grouping of spam land facilities. We do see some Corsairs running around as well for MSG. And there's that fat boy now being chased by a chicken to the north. That fat boy is dead. There's no hope for that thing.
Strategic launch detected.
We do see the teleporter has been finished, and it is now being, of course, charged and being sent over to we know where, to this position. Another YOLO is outbound. Where is it going? It's going for this base. And we do see some pigeons being built. MSG moving in to go after that teleporter, that YOLO. But he is destroyed. A lot of the spam, of course, of the engineers are taken out because of his explosion. If I can talk correctly. And there goes a Ninra commander. He control case, seeing that the game is pretty much over at this point. Again, Team 2 saving grace is going to be the only thing that they can really count on, at least hope that something happens, is this large group of Team 1 forces with a chicken. And I think at this point, I'm going to just bring it up to +2. There is an SMD down here. Not enough assistance, not enough SMDs in general. Trottil is the last remaining player on Team 2. Chicken does charge. It does have a lot of I was going to say it does have a lot of HP remaining, but its HP is dropping quite quickly. Of course, it's just being a tank for all of the Zooey spam here from Team 2's Trottil. We do see, of course, there is an SMD over here. There's a lot of Ravagers. There are a couple of Triads. I would like to have seen some T1 PD in this base. But, of course, now we can see the downside of the Ravager with all of these Zooey. Yeah, they do a lot of damage, but you can see it's really hard to go after single small units, and they move decently quickly as well. And another nuke is outbound. It's going for the last base. Where's it going? What's going over here to this base over here? SMD was built. Isn't going to be loaded in time. Mavor has been started. And a Scathis has been started. I don't agree with going for both at the same time, because that one's going to be gone, and then the Scathis is going to be targeted, and then that's going to be game at that point. Because, yeah, the Zooey are getting in. Second chicken brought forth, but probably should have waited until both chickens were together to be able to launch this attack. I think they were, just under the gun, wanted to get some damage done, but Balfron isn't the main issue. The main issue for Team 2 is this YOLO up to the north. And there's going to be no getting close to it without, of course, Team 1 noticing. We do see a lot of shielding and more of them being built as we speak to protect the YOLO. Even though At this point in the game, it's not warranted. It's not really needed. I will never, ever say do not build more shields because you always need more. It looks like Themo's just toying with his food at this point. I mean, this base could easily be taken out, which I guess it already being is by the Pigeons, and that's what Themo was looking at. Like, well, this base is almost gone anyways. No point in using a YOLO. And we do see the spam is kind of just dying down now here for Trato. I think he might vacate the premises at some point here shortly.
Strategic launch detected.
Another nuke is outbound. Going to go after this position where MSG was hiding. And I think Themo wants a kill with his YOLO. We do see lots of engineers moving to the south, getting out of the main base. Down here in the south, just a bunch of P-gens being built just to, again, get some eco and, you know, power just back in the hands of Trato. You can see he does have, it is positive and has a huge amount of power and mass to his name, but isn't really spending it. He's rebuilt a lot of spam facilities, isn't really actually like pumping out any units at this point. And he's sending a lot of energy to Themo. I wonder if that's what related that is. It looks like there's maybe some issues with some power. Looks like, yeah, there's possibly some power related issues going on for Themo. But looks like he's perfectly fine now. He's fixed it for the most part. Another chicken has been taken out, and just one chicken at a time is not going to be enough. You need 2 or 3 or even 4 at this point. Another chicken has been built. Another one is being built as we speak. There is a chicken inbound from Themo. An ASF fight will occur. Team 1 will have a slight advantage because the ASF for Trato was sitting on the ground. I do hear something. There it is. I was going to say I do hear a bomber somewhere. And it is over here going after the spam facilities. Team 1 will take the air win. They'll find this base. A lot of hives being built and upgraded to get after, of course, more and more chicken construction. Game is paused and unpaused. Says, sorry, Balfron. Just because I don't think he meant to actually hit that. Lots of torp bombers being built, and Team 2 concedes the game. Team 1 wins the game here at 46 minutes. And realistically, the main issue, not issue, but the main kind of thing with this match was the map made it very difficult to really get anywhere long periods of time, just because of the tight corridors, not really a lot of wide open spaces for large land armies to engage. You know, we had the attack in the north that kind of just stopped for a while after Themo took out this base for Mercy spam. He kind of just was like, nah, it's fine. I'll deal with it later. He was building the YOLO at that point. I mean, he took all the mass he was getting from his not former teammates, but his dead teammates, I guess would be the way to phrase that, and started funding that project. And that was what won the game, was that one YOLO. So I'm going to give the MVP over to Themo. He saw the weakness in Team 2. He exploited it, that being a lack of SMD coverage, of course, because, I mean, not that you would expect a YOLO, but in order to prep for a YOLO, you need to kind of know there's a YOLO. It's not really worth it to build a bunch of SMDs and try to spam load them, because that's mass and energy and time that you're not being thrown into other things. But anyway, Themo, you get the MVP in my regard for this game. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button as well for this video. And, of course, thank you so very much for watching, and I will see all of you in the next one.